Welcome back to Tennis Manager, episode number 46. We're at the end of the season with the junior finals coming up first, senior finals coming up a week later. So Nos, in the juniors this year, he's found himself in the exact same position he was in a year ago. He was number 2 last year. He's number 2 now. Now the reason for it, he spent the entire year comfortably at number 1, and he's just slipped to number 2 in the last couple of weeks. Main reason for it is just lack of participation. He's been in the seniors almost the entire year. He's 38-4 in the juniors this season. We've only participated in 7 tournaments, and he's won 4. The other loss would be this week, a year ago, I guess, losing the final for the junior tournament. So we have yet to win it. We're going to look to win it. Uni's won it. We'll see if he can make that happen. It's Kawanishi, who has become the new number 1, and he lost his opening match already, giving us a pretty healthy shot at taking this thing. But we've got a pretty tough group. 2 of the best are here. First up's the easy match. It even says it's going to be an easy match, and we win it comfortably 6-2, 6-1. Only gave up 4 winners. Nos coming out with a mission. Second match of the group stage, though, is against the brother of the one who beat us in the final a year ago, and we've played you, the younger brother, twice this year, or twice over the last just over a year, winning both times. Both of those were the final at the U.S. Open Junior. This could go either way. It's a loss. Nos might not make it out of the group stage. Shiroki, balanced. We've got the better form. We've played twice. Semi-final for Roland Garros, which we went on to win. And the final in Nanjing last year. We won both of those. But both of them were 2 sets, but fairly close, 6-4, 6-4. 6-2, 6-4 victor. We will get out of the group stage. So the semis. Yitao has upset Kawanishi. So Yitao Yu, who just beat us, but we beat 2 times otherwise, will be in the final. So it's a Yitao for the second year running playing in this final. Will we be the opponent second year running? And can we win it this time around? We've still got to get through Ryzhenko, and he's beat us 2 out of the 3 times we have ever played one another. 2 of those were a year ago. U.S. Open Junior a year ago. That was the one win. First time we played, 6-3, 6-4. That was round of 32 on our way to winning that slam. We played in Cancun same year, lost round of 16, and then lost it's San Jose in Costa Rica in the semifinals of a tournament this year, 6-1, 6-4. But we will not be losers today. 7-5, 6-1. We're heading to the final. Kind of a rematch, kind of not, against the brother.
Time. First set.
Nos was pretty stressed heading into this final, but a good pregame talk gave him a bit of an advantage on that, and he comes in at full strength while our opponent comes in a little bit tired. I don't know, 80%? Could see some fatigue if this thing pushes into a third set. Mistake there, otherwise we'd be up 30-love. That was unforced. Anxious, concerned, and stressed, but thrilled. No longer anxious, but confident, but then also concerned and troubled, but thrilled. So we get 2 where he gets only 1, but it's 1 game all so far in this. Each holding serve initially. We're up 30-15, now 30 all. Guess that did catch the line. We were standing right at it and let it go. Advantage. Winner. There's the second game. Aggressively there, but we go up 3 games too. He went wide. We were up love 30 there for a moment. This is a good chance for maybe a break.
15
8 of the net. 15-40. Let's see if we can get the break, and then I want to check in. Ooh, big miss from Nos there. Under hit it. Or just reacted late, didn't get very clean. And from 15-40, it's deuce. Oh, struggling.
Advantage.
Really struggling at the moment. He looked like he was hurt there.
Game. 3 games all.
Gave that one up. Okay, well, let's check the... looks like we did not get a call we should have gotten there.
Advantage.
3 balls into the net. None of them have landed on the other side. Spent a little more time defensive than I want. I want to be fairly neutral, but we're spending a good amount there. And a little more aggressive than defensive. Definitely not finishing at the net much.
Game.
Already had
To 3.
3 serve winners.
Fault.
2
Second
aces,
service.
okay. And a serve winner.
Out. Love 15.
We're down 3 games 4. He broke us. Getting behind at the moment.
Second service.
Pivotal moment where we need to break to get back on track in this first set.
Out.
That's going wide.
15-40.
And 15-40, we found ourselves in this situation just a little moment
Second
ago.
service.
And that's where the momentum swung, was after we got into this. He
30-40.
attacked the net and we didn't reach that. Wasn't a hard hit ball, but we didn't have to get very far to reach it. That was a hard to reach ball. And second time in a row.
Advantage.
Yeah, they got the call on that. He
Fault.
got the call on
Second
them.
service.
It was not there. It was out here. It hit out here. They moved the mark over after the fact.
Game. 5 games to
And that missed? No way that missed.
Second service.
Ooh.
15 love.
Either visually things are off. Well, we just got one that was on the edge, but it was better than that one.
Out.
We're down 3
30
games
love.
5, and I'm kind of ticked off here. Yeah, he's not far off from that 50% though. Love 40
Fault.
set point.
Second service.
By the way, we're already doing better than we did against his brother. His brother absolutely hammered us. It was like 6-1, 6-2. We
Second
lose the
set.
first set, 6-4. Come out strong for this one, though.
15 love.
And have to be. We're down to anxious again. We're going to have to talk to him, but it doesn't let you. And it doesn't do anything. The mid-game talk is so broken in Tennis Manager. Drives me up the wall how inefficient it is. No idea how we didn't get that last point. Or how we didn't get that one. I'm getting frustrated by it. That's another call that's on the line that's not getting called.
Second service.
We do get the game though in the end. I'm frustrated at the ref when I should be frustrated at Nos and his performance. I'm hunting in all the wrong areas, but there's another really close one.
4. Second service. $15-40.
15-40. Nos should have been able to reach that ball. Another mistake.
To 2.
What do we do
15
here?
low.
Motivate?
Fault.
Confidence
Second service.
goes up. Okay, well, we got the confidence back part. Obviously, it's a must-win set. Otherwise, we lose the final 2 years in a row. And this is our swan song for the juniors. There is no coming back. There is no next time. We are permanently in the seniors. And at 30 all, this...
Out. 40-30.
That is Nos today in a nutshell. Just unforced, 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 unforced. Over and over and over and over again.
Game. 5 games
Like
to
that.
3.
And it's 1 game away. Well, must win. Of course, it's going to come down to getting a break on the next game if we're going to have a shot at this thing. But can we even get the job done here? It's on advantage now, and then we finally get that 4th game. No idea how we didn't get the call there a second ago. That was in. That was clearly in. It was on the line. We should be up 30-15 right now, not the other way around. And now we're on the back foot. Nice winner, though. Should be 15-40. But we've been in that situation and had that go very poorly a couple of times today, which has really been the key to this match and why we're not on the right side of it. Unforced errors, and a couple times where we didn't have the killer instinct to finish it off. And the miss there. 6-4, 6-4, we lose. It's not as bad as a year ago, but we have been beaten by the brothers yet again. So we leave the juniors with a sour taste in our mouth. And uni, I don't expect to go very far. So this is probably a lose both kind of year. Sella made a final, but she lost it as well. Good to see her at least make some progress. Igna back to training finally, and footwork, agility both going up to level 10s. Mataras gets a big level up, serve power, return, and volley. Nos, no levels after this week. Nothing for uni. $8,000 is all for Nos. Disappointing final result, because we had been a perfect 2-0 against him until this tournament, and he beat us twice. We're into the final 2 weeks of our season now with the senior finals, and uni has qualified. She's cracked the top 8. She's number 7, but she's the weakest of the 8 players here by far. The good news is she actually does have at least a little bit of a shot because of the other 7 players. I think realistically, in terms of talent, the weaker trio are all in our group. Mira Andreeva, Ksenia Efremova, Brenda Fruvertova. Players we probably have a little bit more of a shot at beating, though uni is easily the weakest of the 8. So expectations are incredibly low for this. But there's a lot of prize money just being in the group phase. Each defeat will net you $50K. Each win will net $200K. So we're talking about a good amount of money no matter what. We're looking at $150K minimum just for being here. But we're not going to earn points without victories. So let's see if uni will secure at least one of those along the way. I do not expect her to get out of the group phase. But like I said, this is the group that gives us at least a little bit of hope. And so as we proceed, we'll see what uni can do with this one. She's lost her first one in 3 sets. And her second, that's going to eliminate her already. Can she get one win? No, she cannot. The on-paper weakest player has proved to be the weakest player. She loses all 3 group stage matches. She'll take the $150K, of which we get, 15%? Meanwhile, Sella has leveled up her forehand consistency and anticipation. Tobin, underspin and anticipation. Igna brings her speed up to a 10, finally. Her last physical attribute to hit double digits. Mataras, a forehand consistency of 12. Return, Nos up to an 11. And Uni doesn't gain anything for... It would have been nice if she would have gotten something just mentally bonus for participating in the finals. Our cut, $22K. Well, Sharma has been our only 2.5-star player for the U.S. men's, but Pranav Thompson, 17-year-old still, up to the top 10 in the junior rankings. Of course, our very own Nos is back up to number 1. He has broken through with his next half-star. Nos does have his as well, so Nos is up to 2.5 stars now. Physical recovery, well, our weakest player is the only one who doesn't have the form, so we'll keep that at 1. Team chemistry is already excellent, so I will do my standard 3 points into singles and 1 point into that tie-breaking double. We'll try to rely on Sharma and Thompson to carry us through, at least to the final. We're also going to take our final shot with just 5 days left of trying to extend Mataraz's contract, and this is an almost certain failure here. Yeah, he doesn't want to. I need to figure out what junior player I want to bring in his stead. I think I already know who it was. I just don't recall. It's this one, Alessa Stoyer. We're looking at really bad mentals, awful physicals, and yeah, she's only a 5.5 average level. I don't know what keeps happening with our best prospects being way behind on their average level. There's a number of high sixes in the academy right now. She's more than a point behind them, but she's got top 30 caliber potential. Sharma is 6th in the junior rankings, Thompson 8th. So we got 2 top 10 players. Our first round opponent is France. They've got 1 top 20 player, and they've got a 33rd and a 52nd ranked before you then get down to a couple players on the fringes of the top 100. But they are ranked number 2. So we find ourselves in the quarterfinal, and it's a 1v2 matchup in the first round in terms of rankings. US v France, 4 wins against 2, 7 titles against 5, both with 5-star chemistry, and the head-to-head for these two is 1-1. But we take the opener, and that's a good sign. Gives us a real chance to see a final, because the semifinal would be a little bit easier. The 2 lower-ranked nations play each other just below us in the bracket. Thompson and Herbert have not, I guess it would be Herbert, have not played each other. This is their first time. And it's a close one, but Thompson wins 6-4, 7-5. We move on to the semifinals. The absence of a flag makes you think it might be Russia, but it's not. It's Belarus. And outside of a senior player who's cracked the top 600, the rankings look pretty low, meaning we've got a chance to maybe get through and preserve these two for the final. Let's give it a shot. So 1v11. Russia, led by Nos. The other absent flag. They have made the semifinal, where they will play China, so we're looking at a pretty tough finals match if we can get there. I have obviously selected 2 weaker players, our 3rd and 4th best, for this semifinal. We'll see if it bites me in the rear end or whether it gives us a leg up for the final. 1-0 all time against Belarus. 2 players that have not played each other. And we've got the first one comfortably, 7-5, 6-1. In the quarterfinals, it was Nos who kept Russia in it, giving them the equalizer after they lost the opener singles match. And then the doubles pairing was did enough to get them through. As for the China, Hitao Yu, the guy we couldn't beat in the junior final, Nos got his revenge on him. So he was 2-0 in US Open play, and then 0-2 down the stretch. Nos in the finals there. Nos here absolutely crushed him 6-0, 6-1 to give Russia a legitimate shot of getting through. But we're talking China throwing their best at it, where Nos is only going to play a single match, no doubles for him. It's going to take a victory by one of the others to have Russia be in the final, to be our opponent. Nos, by the way, 11-2 all time in World Cup play. Paritsky, our 4th best player, has done the job comfortably, 6-1, 6-1, taking the US into the final. And meanwhile, while it was close, Agafonov, who not even ranked in the top 100, was the 5th player on the Russian squad, has gotten the victory over Chen and seen Russia through to the final. So we will play against the number 4 ranked Russia with the number 1 ranked junior ahead of us. And with them restored to strength, it's going to be Sharma and Thompson for the singles matches. Safin, 21st in the junior rankings. After that, everybody's outside of the top 100, giving us a really significant advantage outside of Nos, who has got to be the favorite as an individual. Under the circumstances, you wouldn't necessarily mind seeing Nos get the victory, but then again, it's Russia, and nobody wants to see Russia get a victory outside of the citizens there who deserve better. But yeah, Nos will play single match number 2 against Thompson Safin in the first one. Nos will be in the doubles this time around, so he will do a back-to-back there. Sharma and Thompson themselves may be in a back-to-back scenario if it comes down to it. The only player of our current 5 who has a title to their name is Sharma, but he hadn't played. Sharma, 4-0 all time. That's it. He's only... he was one of those 5th selection kind of guys previously. So none of these guys have experience in a final. But it's not like they need it, as we've lost the last couple, right? Sharma does not beat Safin, and now Nos could win the title for the nation ineligible. Absolutely dominated the match, too. 9 aces, 40 winners to 30, but 56 unforced errors. Sharma shot himself in the foot. Thompson 1-1 against Nos all time. Both matches were finals. Nos winning Roland Garros against Thompson this year. And then years ago in Edmonton, it was a final where Thompson claimed victory over Nos. And as much as I'd love to see this from that awkward perspective of I'm always coaching Nos, but today we were coaching his opponent. Let's skip to the end on this one. Most of you are not here for what happens in these tournaments. So 3-6, 6-3, 6-3. Nos goes down. What a weird scenario to be in. He's a plus 27 on the winners, but he also had the unforced errors issue that Sharma had in the first match. Sharma is not going to get another shot at it. He is toxic when it comes to affinity with the other players in the doubles. So Thompson is going to have a go, and he's going to be joined by Fitzmaurice. Missed out on $100,000 in earnings from Igna because of her injury right at the end of the season. I think she was at either 18 or 19 tournaments at the time, with another 3 to 4 scheduled down the stretch, but the injury eliminated those, and she never got a chance to make up those final 1 or 2 tournaments she needed for a payout. It's only $100,000. In the grand scheme of things, that's not much these days, but it still hurt to miss out on that opportunity. But we did hit all of those other goals. Her only goals were the quite serious ones at the end of playing in the semifinals of a slam. She didn't quite get that far. And for the sake of time, we're just gonna see what the results are. It's 6-2, 6-love. The U.S. has claimed the title. We've returned to the top step. Of course, this sucks a little bit for Nos because it is going to hurt his morale slightly when he comes back to us, possibly his form. But his partner Sarkisian was definitely the weaker of the 4 that were here. Most of our top potential ones are late bloomers. We have a standard this time in Sawyer. Like I said, she is nearly last. There's only, 2? Now 3 behind her in terms of current ratings. And one of those she just passed this week. She was a 5.5 flat. Now she's a 5.57. But she'll make that ground up, presumably quick, if her potential is what we think it might be. If it's anything similar to Nos, she'll gain ground quickly. And so that means we have one more Youth Academy player. In all likelihood, it's the last one we'll be taking on. So some end of season reports. Sella did start to climb there at the end. It finally came together. The previous period where she had 2 wins was better than her periods prior to that. Then she started to take off this last period and started to make runs deeper into tournaments. Out of 5, she still didn't win a tournament, but she did, I think, make 1 final, did make 1 quarterfinal. It was absolutely better, and she started to climb. So she's getting competitive right at the end. I think we'll probably bump her up 1 level only entering the new year. Tobin, meanwhile, did start to climb throughout this season. He had a rough period before that. He started to find that form again late. Didn't do great, though. He's only a little bit better than Sella. Igna, the injury. The 1 tournament played, there was no matches played. She was just already entered for it, and it was an instant withdrawal. Mataraz finally gets things going. We started to achieve the objectives for the year, but it was too little too late to save his position within the team. He won 3 out of the 4 tournaments, 94% win rate. He was perfect in the period before it, but he went from like 300 in the rankings to last minute hitting 13. It came too late. His main objective was top 50. His other objective was to play in the junior finals. He's one more tournament win away from cracking that top 8 and making that happen. It all just came a hair too late. It also came, the tactical adjustment that I made for him came a hair too late. That was my bad. I should have changed it much sooner. We will make sure that Stoyer is on top of it early, that we get her on the right track. She's already got a good tactic as an aggressive baseliner, so she might not need much tweaking on that part. But Nos got back up to number 1 in the juniors. He lost it for a couple of weeks, and even though we did not win the final, the one who had overtaken us, who hit number 1, is not who beat us. It was Yatao, was number 3, and he did not accumulate enough points to catch up. There was a huge gap, had been a huge gap. We secured a good amount of points by playing in that final, and it was enough to get us back into that first position. So at least Nos finishes, not as the final champion, but as the junior champion in terms of ranking for the year. And then meanwhile, of course, his primary focus all year was the seniors, and he climbed another 51 spots, getting up to 205 now. 28k earned during that period, not a ton, but it's okay. He's gonna move, and remember, we held him back a little bit during that stretch. 3 tournaments, he won 2 of them, 92% win rate, and he will be ready to bump up to a higher level for next year, as we'll have a new set of goals to achieve. But I think cracking the top 100 will probably be a realistic goal for next season. Meanwhile, and easy to achieve, because I think we can possibly get him up into the top 50 before the end of the year. Meanwhile, Uni still in the top 10, 1,500 points, $1.5 million, 12 wins from 17, 70% win rate in 5 tournaments against the best of the best. She's continuing to provide her primary resource for us, which is the finances that have allowed us to develop so quickly, to bring the others along more quickly. All right, folks, we're going to be wrapping up this episode here in just a second, and this season, of course, but we're going to end on the final note that we had 3 contracts, plus Mauras, expiring, so 4 outgoing members of the team, but also, on that note, we have 2 retirements within the squad as well. So we have 2 additional positions to fill. That's going to make 6 in all. Of course, one of those we've filled already with Stoyer. So we're down to 5 more positions to fill. That's where we will open up our next episode. That's going to do it for this one on Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.